Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the race that just happened for the Assen TT. Now, before we get into it, here is how they finished. Pecco Bagnaia won it from Jorge Martin, Enea Bastianini, Marc Marquez, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Maverick Vinales, Brad Binder, Alex Marquez, Raul Fernandez, Franco Morbidelli, Jack Miller, Fabio Quartararo, Johan Zarco, Augusto Fernandez, Miguel Oliveira, Taka Nakagami and Luca Marini were the last ones across the line. Pedro Acosta crashed on the last lap. Joan Mir also crashed. Marco Bezzecchi slid off and got into the pit lane again, and Alex Rins had a spectacular crash just after turn one in the opening lap. He did seem to be up and okay, but again, it was a big one. As we know, Aleix Espargaro did not start the race today. Has a broken metacarpal in his hand, and also Lorenzo Savadori did do some damage to his back or lower spine in yesterday's crash and did not start also. Now, if I'm going to be pretty honest, I think the race was a little bit of a bore. I think Pecco was absolutely perfect, took off, was never better. The bike was like an absolute missile from the start, and he just made the hard front tire, rear medium tire work for him. Jorge Martin, again, really aggressive at the start, really good in behind Pecco. I thought he was going to do some damage at the start as he was on the medium front, medium rear combination. So the opening laps he needed to make something if he was going to win the race. Now, look, saying that, he did come through the field a small bit because of he had the 3-place grid penalty. So it's a good enough spot for him as Pecco was on mega form today. Enea Bastianini, probably the rider of the race for me, if I'm honest. I think Pecco, in another way, would be rider of the race, but Enea came from 10th to 3rd place. Battled his way through. I thought he did really, really well. Really strong race. Good race from Marc Marquez, although there was a few strange moments in it. One where he let Di Gianantonio pass. Now, there's kind of speculation whether this was down to that his front tyre was under pressure and he was trying to build pressure in it, or the fact that within 2 or 3 laps of the race, he was already on a final track limits warning that he was going to get a long lap, and he just wanted someone to follow to make things easier for him. But all in all, it was a good race for him. Fabio Di Gianantonio, again, had a great race, battling. Could have been near enough to the podium, let's just say. Bit of a weird ending with Vinales, but again, Vinales in 6th place. Sometimes you do wonder about Maverick. Is that killer instinct really there? Or is he one of those riders that can really win only when he gets out in front? I know he had a good race in America, but again, there was a couple of times where he could have left off the brakes today and put the bike in a position to pass someone, and you kind of feel he didn't. Brad Binder, a good race for him. He would have finished behind Acosta if Acosta did finish, but woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, if don't really count. Brad did cross the line. It was an okay weekend for him, if I'm honest. Alex Marquez, did expect a little bit more from him, with his qualifying. Thought he would be a little bit closer to the front, but did fall back. Raul Fernandez, again, good race from Fernandez. He is, he's getting there. I still think he will stay in Trackhouse Racing for next season, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that. Franco Morbidelli, top 10, it is a top 10, but again, you would expect him on a 24 at this stage now to be ready to go. The adaptation to the Ducati should be there, and it's not really there. He is tipped to go back to VR46 next season. Jack Miller, I wish Jack would just get into the top 10. Look, his names have been mentioned in, I think, in every other team that has seats left. I hope that he does stay in MotoGP, but saying that, he's not too far behind Binder, about 8 seconds. He had a terrible kind of weekend. Let's just say it wasn't a great weekend. Fabio Quartararo again, progress. The engine is good. We won't really see the benefits, Fabio said, for a race or two yet. So, it is still a kind of a shame to see Fabio down there. I thought he'd be a little further up with the way Assen is. Johan Zarco, he did not really keep Fabio honest. He was 20 seconds behind him, but again, he is thereabouts with Fabio. They're way back, if I'm honest. Augusto Fernandez, again, look, he had a good battle with Johan Zarco. Miguel Oliveira, similar as well, although I think he got a penalty or will be getting a penalty for non-compliance of a long lap. Taka Nakagami, what can you say, 46 seconds. When you're that kind of far behind, the race is over. Luca Marini, a minute and 10 seconds behind. So it's nearly a full lap if you look at it. He was 20 seconds away from being lapped in a 25 lap race, which is terrible. Look, I have an awful lot of respect for Joan Mir crashing out as much as he does. You can literally say that he is trying, whereas Marini is, seeming to not ride to that edge. And look, these guys, I know it sounds kind of a weird one, but I respect Mir for going out there pushing it as hard as he can, trying to keep up with others and crashing. If I was a team owner, I'd be hating someone saying, I'm going to ride 7/10 back every lap just to make sure that I finish it. Anyway, regardless of that, it was a difficult day for Honda again. Pedro Costa crashed out on the last lap in turn 7, quite a quick crash, so he's definitely got an old egg beater going on there. Mir crashed and Bezzecchi slipped off. Rins' crash was quite frightening, actually. It was kind of a pure high side that, he flew. Electronics can't stop everything, I guess. All in all, I thought, look, the race was good for the podium. Did kind of pick up, but again, look, it wasn't the best, most edge of the seat, punching race that I did see. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Who was your rider of the day, and what did you most enjoy about the race? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.